Coming up next in the alpha male universe.
Lie to yourself until it works. Lie to yourself about your dreams and your goals. Be so delusional until it works. And you don't believe me? Your ex-girlfriend lied to you so much.
Okay, we are cooked.
Most of you guys are conforming to the world when you can literally make the world conform to you. It's insane. Guys will want thousands of clients.
What the hell are you talking about?
A lot of you guys are weird, and that's okay, because you're the one that's going to change lives and get paid. When I was in 9th grade, I started posting videos. That was the first time I ever posted a video. I had a girlfriend at the time.
Welcome back to the alpha male universe. Now I'm really excited to introduce this new character. This just like sends me back, not even that long ago, a year ago, when we used to introduce so many different people here in the AMU. And with Wes Watson's imprisonment, fuck Wes Watson right in the chat, we can now torch a bunch of other life coaches, a lot of other alpha males. And here we are with a new one. Now this one's been a long time coming. There's going to be an interview like maybe in the second half of this video, but the first half will be a traditional episode where we just really learn more about who this guy is. We're gonna talk all about it. We're gonna get our roast on. It's gonna be a fun time. So get your glass out, get bubbly with it, and let's get this show on the fucking road.
The reason you don't get the big paycheck is because you don't ask for it. Simple as that, bro. And somebody needs to tell your ass this, bro. And like, I mean this respectfully. Like, you're not getting paid because you're not asking to get paid. And number one, you're not even looking for a service that's valuable enough to charge what you want to charge and make the money that you want to make. Oh, I'm too arrogant. Oh, if I ask for that much money, bro, they're going to think I'm scamming them. How? If they get everything that you provide and you put a price on it and they say yes, how is that a scam? If you change their life,
Okay, he's gonna rant for like another 30 seconds. I'll give you a breather, but what the fuck is going on with this guy? Like, he's just in a parking lot. Could you imagine being like some random bystander just walking by and just looking at that? Like, he is literally screaming into his phone. This guy is definitely something else, man. I feel like he is an excellent addition to the AMU added to the collection.
Our lightsabers will make a fine addition to my collection.
But what is up with the whole, like, oh yeah, you're not rich because you're not asking for it? What is this whole manifesting bullshit? I get like believing in yourself, but this just feels like over the top. This just feels like narcissism packaged up in life coaching. But I also wanted to talk about how there is a Vincent Fisher connection later on in the video, but I'll let this play out first.
yes, how is that a scam? If you change their life, how is that a scam? These individuals are so scared of good, they can't even accept it because of what everybody else says. Do you think that if everybody was thinking that they could get paid that price, do you think that everybody would fucking be doing it? Yes, they'd be fucking doing it. So why are you not trying it? I know these other people don't believe in themselves, but you have to be the one. That's why it's cool to make money. That's why it's cool to be a leader. That's why it's cool to give people programs and change their life. That's why it's cool to take a different path. That's why they call you a leader, because you don't do what the average do.
Bro is desperate for the clients, man. You know, I almost feel bad. I wonder how many people have actually signed up for him, because when you look at his Instagram, it's over 100,000 followers. The typical bullshit, right? Like the botted followers. And then you look at the engagement, and I think like most posts won't exceed 100 likes. So, you know, 6, 7, that doesn't make any fucking sense. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely going to be an exciting video, and I want to transition to where he starts Bible grifting. He's like invoking the Bible and Christianity, which is something that like his like grand teacher Vincent Fisher taught him to do. And the reason why I say Vincent Fisher is when you look at the bio, I'll bring up the Instagram once again, you'll see that there's a link to the Architect Army. Now, if you tuned in with the Broccoli Head Pubes Watson episode, we talked about how Vincent Fisher devised a new coaching program. And apparently this guy falls under it with some type of like partnership program. If you look right there, it's Vincent Fisher teaching the men of the next generation. So there's definitely like this Pubes Watson connection, and another reason why I think he is an excellent addition to the AMU. But let's check out the Bible grifting.
Upwards of $20,000 investing into my online coaching business, and there's no game like the Bible. People say, well, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to make it to heaven. And money is the root of all evil. And that's because your interpretation is completely false and it is completely wrong. The Bible is actually going to teach you how to make money if you have the right perspective of it.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
The Bible's actually going to teach you how to make money if you have the right perspective of it.
See what I'm talking about? The Bible grifting. This is something that Vincent Fisher has a habit of doing, and apparently this guy too. So yeah, I don't know what doctrine he's following. This is a first. Maybe you've heard it before. I want to hear your comments down below about this section of the video. But I've never heard anyone say that the Bible can teach you how to make money and that the Bible prioritizes, it values money. I mean, everything I know in my life, that's actually the contrary. So I have no idea what he's reading, and let's check out what he's about to say.
The Bible is actually going to teach you how to make money if you have the right perspective of it. And it genuinely pisses me off when people say that they're waiting to hear from God, but it's like, nah, bro, God is already speaking. Just pick up the book. And it's so funny. These are the same people saying, well, oh, courses are a scam and having a coach. And why would a coach coach a coach? And why did I do this? Well, let me read you this Bible verse. Deuteronomy 8:18. It says, but remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the ability to produce wealth. And it also says faith without works is dead. So if that's the case, if I stay stuck, stagnant, and lazy, but yet I'm praying for something but not willing to do something or take action on something, who's contradicting who? So is God the scam or are you the scam?
What a crazy turning of the table moment right at the end, man. This guy's a real genius. Apparently, we're the scam or God's the scam. Everything's a scam, you know, but I'm pretty sure Deuteronomy, that verse that he was citing, is talking about a different type of wealth. I have no idea why he would think that the wealth that the Bible is talking about is of the material world, but I'm not like these other alfalfa males. So I also think this too, and maybe you could say I'm being a little bit nitpicky, but him just throwing the Bible around like it's a dirty towel, like it's a dirty napkin you just use to wipe away some hot sauce off your face, him just throwing it on the table nonstop, just kind of really projected the image that he doesn't really care. I have no idea why someone would just be throwing a book that they believe is holy just casually on the table, slamming it down like it's a piece of trash. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that was unusual. I feel like that was like a giveaway that he really doesn't give a fuck about what he's saying.
A lot of you guys are weird, and that's okay, because you're the one that's gonna change lives and get paid. When I was in 9th grade, I started posting videos. That was the first time I ever posted a video. I had a girlfriend at the time. I posted a deadlift video. She literally started talking about me, making fun of me, and eventually left my ass because I started making videos, bro. And so what I decided to do with that energy was to keep being myself. I realized that if I was different than everybody else, and I had a body like no one else had, and
I'm really not trying to insult the actual pug that is watching this alfalfa male spit and just foam at the mouth while he's recording, but this guy is basically acting like a pug, bro. I feel like bro is so congested while he's talking, he's spitting at the camera. I've just noticed it, throughout watching these clips that spit is always flying at the camera, and if I was his ex, I probably would have left too now after watching 3 clips in this video, because this guy is acting like a major clown.
else, and I had a body like no one else had, and I had a mindset, and I could speak and carry myself the way that I wanted to, then I was gonna stand out. That's why my personal brand and my online coaching business stands out. So people talk about, oh, the market is saturated and everybody wants to get online and everybody wants to make videos, but everybody is not you. And until you can understand that, you don't deserve a paycheck. You don't deserve to change other people's lives because you're not in full acceptance of yourself. And until you can be in full acceptance of yourself, you can't fix what you won't admit. So why would the money, why would the women, why would the lifestyle, why would you be a leader to other people if you can't lead yourself?
Bro is really harping on this being a leader point, but there's nothing that I've seen that's projected the idea that this guy is genuinely a leader. I have no idea how we arrived in the year of 2026 that making a bunch of videos screaming in front of a camera somehow portrays the same leadership we saw maybe soldiers leading the battlefield during the Empire of Rome or something like that. I'm just genuinely confused why he keeps talking about leadership, and little bro definitely stands out among these other weird characters that I've seen in the AMU, but not in a good way. Like, if you end up on this channel, that's not a achievement. Some people in the past have treated that like that, but yeah, bro's cooked.
I really don't think you guys struggle with content. I think you struggle to share your opinions because you're scared about other people's opinions. And that's what's holding you back from being the top tier coach in any field, rather it be business, rather it be confidence maxing, rather it be fitness coaching, whatever you sell, whatever solution you provide on Instagram, you just need to be able to verbalize it and not care about what people have to say. Because I promise you, there's more people out there that agree with you, but you have to start. And if you don't start to verbalize these thoughts, if you don't start to verbalize your story and your struggles, as well as your wins, and share that, because nobody wants the perfect coach. People want somebody that they can relate to. And so if they can relate to you, your content and your message and your principles and your morals, you will sign new clients literally within the next month, as long as you continue to nurture them. That's the goal.
At this point, we have to start calling this guy Spit Watson, because it's every single clip, bro, is spitting at the camera. Maybe you can come up with a name down below. I'll probably check all that out. I can only imagine what people are going to come up with. But I don't agree with this idea that we should share everything about our lives. That shit is weird. People should have privacy. Another person like Gollum Watson, Mike Forgione, he does this. He'll show himself cooking eggs. He'll show himself stretching. He'll show himself doing literally everything. Even reading a fucking book. We are living now in a time where people will record themselves reading a fucking book. I know you're not reading that shit. So let's just put the phones down. Let's enjoy the moment and have some common sense. Oh, shit. Sorry. This is the AMU where these people don't have common sense. So let's check out another clip.
Lie to yourself until it works. Lie to yourself about your dreams and your goals. Be so delusional until it works. And you don't believe me? Your ex-girlfriend lied to you so much until she ended up finding a new guy. And you believed her. And she ended up getting exactly what she wanted because she lied to herself about how weak you are, how good you're not, and she ended up finding somebody better than you. So what you need to do is take that same energy, that same belief system in yourself and say, you know what? I am worth it. And I had to believe in myself when I was in that Section 8 apartment. I had to believe in myself when I was over 300 pounds to lose the weight. I had to believe in myself when I took 15 to 20 tries to make a 1-minute reel. Now I can kill it in one setting. Now people pay me to learn information because I changed lives and I never quit. It was the delusional thoughts. It was the alignment and accepting the wish fulfilled of me helping other people. And it changed my life. You have to fucking believe in yourself because Jesus.
Of course, bro, try to throw in Jesus right at the end. I have no idea what to call this guy anymore. Honestly, is he Spit Watson? Is he Preacher Watson? I have no idea. But this whole believing you're a special snowflake, it's honestly fucking dumb. And I know some people may be offended by that, but I just speak candidly here on the channel. There are billions of us, okay? We need to stop thinking that, oh, just because I say I believe in myself. How about you go out there and fucking prove it and do it by actions? Actions speak louder than words. But for this guy, he wants you to be so delusional with yourself that maybe the delusion will then override reality, and then eventually you will become what your delusion is. That's basically his strategy. You go from 15 attempts to 1 attempt for an Instagram reel, and that's an amazing accomplishment. Congratulations, chump. You can make Instagram videos. Wow, man, I'm pretty sure the people in the previous times, the early 1900s, 1800s, 1700s, who actually had to work real hard careers, if you had to tell them it's an accomplishment to record a reel, they probably laugh in your fucking face. So let's check out one more clip and then we'll transition to the interview.
You guys are conforming to the world when you can literally make the world conform to you. It's insane.
It's insane. Yeah, looking to the side all mysteriously. Yeah. Let me do it a third time. Yeah, wow, that's so convincing, man. Oh my God, the brain rot, it's starting to creep in.
It's insane. Guys will want thousands of clients, but don't want to post. In your mind, you should say, this piece of content is going to bring me thousands of clients. And conform your mind to the fact that you're successful, that you make thousands of dollars, but most importantly, you have intention, so you change lives. People just do shit that doesn't make sense. They set themselves up for failure when you can easily set yourself up for victory. Like a fat person, for an example. If he's fat and he needs to lose 50 pounds, why do you have cake in the refrigerator? Same thing with your business, bro. if you know that you need to post, why are you surrounding yourself around people that laugh at content creators, laugh at online coaches? Why are you surrounding yourself with people that call it stupid? Why are you hanging around people that don't have big goals, don't want to drive the cars you want to drive, have the life that you want to have? Why? You're setting yourself up to lose. Programming is decided by you.
An entire generation of young men and women have had their minds completely ruined by this life coach grifting bullshit. It's just wild to see how many like knockoff Vincent Fisher clones there are, Wes Watson clones, Andy Elliott clones. It's really sad and pathetic, honestly. Like, these people are panhandling. I guess if you change the words around, then like maybe they think it's not panhandling. Instead, oh, I need to manifest 1,000 clients from a 15-second reel I made. It's just bullshit, right? So we're going to conclude the typical AMU episode right here, right? Where we reviewed the videos, the clips. We kind of have an idea as to who this character is, okay? And we're going to transition now to an interview. Now, this individual reached out to me who actually used to work with him, and he wanted to give his side of the story. So I was like, okay, you know what? You don't want to be part of this. I understand. I'll hear you out. And yeah, that's basically the setup for this interview, and enjoy. All right, brother. So here we are with Mike. Now, Mike actually, just to give a little bit of context, reached out to me and he let me know about this alfalfa male and what is going on. So how this video even got started, how you're even watching this crazy ass character by the name of Bryson. Well, it's all because of Mike, and he reached out to me and I wanted to give him the opportunity to speak because he feels very convicted. He wants to do the right thing. He's compelled to uphold a standard, and that is why we're here. So Mike, with that being said, the floor is yours.
All right. So before I got into like this circle, you know, I have a background film and TV, and I was just, you know, trying to find a good stable, you know, way of income. And then I came across just kind of like the more online section with like starting a business and selling this and, you know, all that kind of with the businesses. And then I started out as a clipper for another one of the alpha male people. And then I got introduced to more of the sales floor after good ratings on the account. And I just learned everything from them. Some I agree, some I disagree. But, you know, the people you hang around with is going to have a big reflection on yourself. And currently it's like I'm burning and I need the water thrown on me because it was all a mistake from the start to affiliate with people who pretend they have your best interest, but they're willing to kick you to the curb if anything goes out of place.
Okay, so just so the audience is understanding correctly, you are in videography, right? You're into film.
Yes.
And basically that is like your profession. And so these alfalfa mills, maybe one or two, reached out to you wanting to contract you for your business. And you had really no idea who they were. They probably just portrayed themselves as righteous men doing the right thing, probably just, you know, lying to you about who actually they are. And then as you really started to understand like who they were and what their message was and what they were doing behind the scenes, you started to see the wolves among the sheep, right? Okay.
Exactly. And let me say this. There's only a few that are very, like, you know, good, but remember that there's a lot of bad ones around. I would say an estimate of 3 in total.
Damn, that's really small.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's pretty much no good alfalfa mills. There are some out there, right? And so they they were trying to reach out for you for your services. Now, what happened between you and this alfalfa mill character that we're talking about today?
Before I do get to that, can I explain like why, like another reason why I was kind of in that like circle as well, or trying to?
Of course, I'm sure people want to hear your story.
So, you know, they obviously hire filmers to film their reels. So it's just an uncommon thing where it's like, if I could just like, and I'm in the Southeast, you know, I'm in Florida.
Okay,
and
so that's the hub of the alfalfa mills. I'm pretty sure you're tracking that Miami has a lot of grifters, and
there's
also,
a lot of
yeah, there's a lot of grifters.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people where it's only like not too far away from me, and it's like if I just connect with people who I thought would, be in that kind of circle, it would just help me just be able to just film, collect, and repeat. It's like I'm just trying to have a regular, good source of income from everything I've been learning since high school.
Okay.
And now back to specifically Bryson. One of the good three I did pay, which I got the value out of it. Maybe the next person won't, but I'm fine with what I did. It was $2,500, and I saw great, skill set, whether I use some or not. Then he gave me the offer to work for Bryson, and I was a DM setter, which is basically the person you're speaking with the whole time on the Instagram.
Okay, so just so people are tracking this DM role, so people may not know what that is. I know sometimes there's an older audience who tune in on these videos, and I still appreciate the older audience. There's a lot of Zoomer lingo here on the channel, and sometimes it can be confusing, but the whole DM setter thing is basically someone who is doing all of the socializing, the talking on behalf of the fitness coach or the life coach, right?
Yeah, on the business owner, you're just appointment setting. Like it's kind of like if you think of a front desk. If someone walks in, you're talking to them, and then you collect their info, and then you pass it on to another guy, the closer. But I'll explain more on the DM setting thing. It's just you send outreach, you talk to them as you're him. You could use the scripts they give you, or you could just do it on your own, whatever you think is best. And then they get passed to the closer, which is the person who's going to collect the money if it goes through.
So I have a quick question, right? Because there are going to be some people who are very suspicious of the fact that you were actually working with these alfalfa males. What is it that made you ultimately realize that what is going on here is wrong? What is it that compelled you to see the light?
It would be, I got basically burned as someone who was working, so I can't imagine how they were toward the clients. And one of them is, he's kind of like afraid to speak on this because he really needs it back. But he's like basically this asshole. Yeah. So he's like this asshole, I'm now 2K in debt. And even though I know both sides, so this agreement is for like those 30-day things, what you hear about.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't satisfied with everything, and he told me that everything was like ChatGPT. Everything was just false. He didn't seem to care for some reason. He said, just repetitive answers. He said like his advice. Even though he took it to a T, he thinks the stuff that he was able to do was better than that.
Okay, yeah, this also seems to be a trend here in the AMU where a lot of these life coaches, these fitness coaches will portray themselves as experts in their field, but they're really just giving people cookie cutter information, ChatGPT bullshit that you could just look up on your own. So this client is basically afraid because they're trying to get their money back, right? So in a way, you're trying to talk on behalf of them, right?
Yeah, I'm just talking on behalf of this person. As I said, like we were going to try to have him here, but he was like, I don't want anything to screw up my, process. But he really wants to get this pushed out. He's like, I want this person to have his shit out in the open.
Okay, so this person basically doesn't want the same thing to happen to them. And, it's pretty wild because this person sounds like they're in a certain financial predicament. And the fact that, like, these alfalfa male grifters are taking pretty much people's rent money and then just, being all willy-nilly about it, not providing the value of this person's money, it's just wild to me, And this is why I really go hard on these alfalfa males because they're not doing the right thing. They are doing something that's fucked up and they need to get called out for it.
Yeah, you mind if I mute for 1 second?
No problem, pause. And with that being said, you've actually informed me that he has tried to silence you. He doesn't want this story to get out. Could you let me know a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I got an email and it was from him after he blocked me after I tried to explain why I kind of like left the group chat, the teen group chat. So he sent me this chat GPT warning of a cease and desist, meaning I can't talk to any past people, whether they're clients, employees, or whoever's affiliated, and that if I do anything remotely close to that, he's going to try to take it further, which he seems he wants to do.
There's definitely going to be some people who are going to see you as a villain for working with these guys. There's going to be some people who see you as a guy who's just trying to do the right thing. And honestly, at the end of the day, I think people really appreciate transparency and honesty. It's something that's actually a very rare trait. So, like, while you were in, that industry or whatever, like, I see what you're saying, man. And I just think that it's never too late. Like, from my perspective, like, you did not do the harm like these Vincent Fishers of the world, which, in this video, I've talked about how he's possibly a disciple of Vincent Fisher, right? You haven't done the harm like the Princess Azulis of the world, the Vincent Fishers, right? Like, you got out before it was too late. And so I'm tracking what you're saying, man. It's making sense. And I'm definitely hoping that a lot of people watch this video. This is probably going to be, I don't know, possibly a big new alfalfa male who gets slam dunked on the daily, because I think he's probably going to crash out after this video goes live. But you know what? With that being said, right? I wanted to emphasize and focus and dial in on that point about how, like, he's threatened you, right? Like, are you expecting anything to come out of that after this video goes live?
No, but it'll be fun.
Ah, okay.
But it's just that I forgot to say the main point. They care about your credit score the most.
Oh, these life coaches care about your credit score?
All of them.
Wow.
Because it helps for a high ticket, and then once you pay, let's say $2,000, you're paying in like $80 like per month, they get paid in full, and then you're locked out because it always has a 100% favor towards the host.
That's pretty wild. No, that's yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
that's what I meant by I need to weed out people who are unethical.
Before we conclude, recap basically what was spoken about here in this interview. Mike reached out to me. He let me know about this alfalfa mill, and that's why you're watching this video right now. And long story short, Mike was in the industry because he was a videographer and he was in film. That was what he studied. That's what his profession is, right? He was hired by this alfalfa mill. He was a person who helped facilitate getting clients, right? As the professional relationship broke down between himself and this alpha coach, then he started reaching out to these other clients, right, that he helped get, and started hearing their experience. And then he came and reached out to me and said, you know what? I realized what was going on. I want to help put an end to this. And that is why this interview was conducted. And I know some people are going to sit here and say, oh, I don't know about this Mike guy, right? But there's also going to be some people who say, you know what, Mike's doing the right thing, okay? Because once you realize what you're doing wrong, like, you have a choice. You have a choice to be like, I am going to fix myself. I'm going to do the right thing, or you continue doing the wrong thing. So, you know what? I want to say I commend Mike for reaching out to me and trying to do the right thing, So with that being said, before we conclude, do you have any last words that you want to say to the audience?
Oh, I respect their opinion and their, you gotta have discernment. And, I would do the same thing I do the same thing where if somebody does something like this, I always thinking like, because when I honestly helped another former employee and tell him that he was really kicked off and not, because he lied to him and then he like made the excuse like, oh, well, I was going to tell him that he was out of here. But I was like, I know that I'm really just saying it because, yeah, I got burned, but I'm owning my mistake. And I said the same kind of like thing where it's like, yeah, I was burned, throwing water, go make it right. Just kind of learn from your mistake. And, if people really just understood people's mistakes better, I think a lot of people will feel better about coming out more, because it's all about like assuming the worst first, which is unfortunate. But I respect all opinions, and I know why I'm doing this, and God knows. So that's all I care about.
All right. Well, Mike, we really appreciate you for your time. And we also appreciate you who is watching this video right now. I know this video is a bit different, right? It was a hybrid AMU episode where we highlighted all these crazy antics, went over these clips, really roasted him, spread his cheeks. And we all know he's going to be crashing out probably pretty shortly on his Instagram. And that is probably going to turn into a whole other AMU saga. But yes, I want to say thank you again for tuning in. Please be sure to smash that like button. Consider subscribing. This is your first time here on the channel. And swing on by the Bubba Discord if you have more information about this alfalfa male or another one that needs to get his cheeks spread. So you know what? With that being said, guys, hopefully you tune in on the next AMU episode. Later.